Hello everyone, Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. It's time for Taroscopes for the month of October 2021, and we're going to do the Taroscope for Pisces. This is for Pisces Sun, Pisces Moon, which I have, Pisces Ascendant. So let's see. We'll first look at the astrology very quickly. This is not by any means a complete astrological picture for Pisces, but it is a good sort of overview. If you want to get more specific information about the astrology of the month, check out my astrology of October 2021, which will go up later today. Okay, so a couple things happening. Actually, there's a lot of movement in October, and part of that movement is because we have four planets, count them, four planets changing direction. And while it's kind of unusual that four planets will change direction in a month, it's even more unusual that it's happening, that they're all moving forward. So there's been a lot of sense of not being able to move forward because of those retrograde planets, that shifts and changes. Now Pisces, generally as an energy, will what's the word I'm looking for? We'll get used to, or will adapt easily to whether things are moving forward or things are moving backwards, because Pisces is symbolized by two fish, one moving forward and one moving backwards. So in a way, it doesn't matter to Pisces, but it does make it a lot easier when things are moving forward to actually get things done on the physical plane, which, even though Pisces, it's not their favorite place to hang out, they certainly need to stay grounded. Pisces is a sign that has one foot in the other world and one foot in this world. And so we have to make sure, when you have Pisces in your chart predominantly or prominently, that you're making sure that both sides of the equation are getting taken care of, both the practical and the mystical. All right, so we have a new moon in the sign of Libra. Now for Pisces, Libra is your Virgo. Let me see here. I have to do this in my head. Pisces, Virgo, Libra is your 8th house. And so new moon in your 8th house the 8th house is a relationship house, and it could be a new moon concerning some sort of business partnership or intimate partnership or money partnership. The 8th house is other people's money. Now we do have Mars there, conjunct the new moon in Libra, and so there's actually quite a bit of energy to this new moon. So whatever seed you plant in whichever place it's planted, there's a lot of energy behind it. And add to that on that day Pluto goes direct, just less than an hour after the new moon. So Pluto is the natural ruler of the 8th house. So for you guys, this can be very important. This can also, this might be a good time to even have a relationship with a good tax accountant, or get your taxes in order, because it's going to propel you in a positive direction. If you sort of leave it and don't take care of it and such, you can actually run into some problems later down the road. So this is one of those instances, I think, when you have to be very practical about the choices that you make and where you put your energy. We also have a full moon in Aries. That full moon is conjunct Eris in Aries. Eris right now is in a very tight square with Pluto and with Mars. Eris is actually opposite, not Mars. Eris is actually opposite Mercury. By the time of the full moon, though, Mars is getting closer to an opposition to Eris. And I think that opposition to Eris, or did it already happen? The opposition to Eris happened on the solstice. No, the equinox. So that already happened. But all of that, really what all that means is revolution. And so we are evolving and revolving. um, but that full moon in Aries does fall in your 12th house, right? Second house. Second house. So realizations around your values. The second and eighth house gets activated through that full moon, and we become aware of our values and our shared values, and the values you are willing to share with others and the values you're not willing to share with others. It deals with your money and your shared resources. So there's a lot of energy around resources with that full moon. So you need to pay attention. Pluto goes direct in Capricorn, as I said. That is, for Pisces, that would be your 11th house. The 11th house is a collective house. It's a house of groups. And with Pluto moving direct in that house, there's a lot of power within groups that you are involved in. So, but there can also be power struggles within those groups. So be aware of that. Mercury goes direct on the 18th. That is going to be in your That's going to be in your second house, right? No, I'm sorry. It's in Libra. I don't have a picture in front of me, so I have to do this in my mind. Your eighth house, sorry. I'm being so very Pisces, ain't I? Aren't I? Yeah, so eighth house, Mercury goes direct. Jupiter goes direct. Jupiter is in Aquarius. Aquarius is your 12th house, so there will be help from the other realms, as it were, which is nothing new to you, right? Seeing as you have one foot in other realms at all times. Mars will move into Scorpio, and that stimulates your philosophical bent. And it is a water sign just like you are, and so it makes it a little easier to sort of grasp a hold of that Mars. But that Mars in Scorpio it doesn't actually go into Scorpio until the end of the month. And so your ability to move and transform and do that shadow work will come more into fruition come November. But a busy month for you guys. So be aware. Take care of the things that need to be taken care of. What's the word I'm looking for? The earthly things. It's important that you take care of the earthly things. And so when you are in those mystical places, which you tend to like to hang out in anyway, at least you know that when you come back to Earth, there'll be something to come back to, right? All right, good. So let's take a look at the tarot for Pisces for the month of October. And I'm using the Connolly Deck. That's the deck I've chosen to use with all of the water signs this month. And I just do 3 quick shuffles here, in dispersing, and a cut. And we will see what's up for Pisces. Okay, we start with the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is an energy of sustaining the fire, sustaining the spirit, sustaining the home. So this is hearth and home, generosity of heart, creativity. She's a highly creative energy. And we see the black cat there at the bottom. It actually looks a lot like my cat Charlie. And I guess I could look like that if I wore my hair down and would put a crown on my head. It's possible, right? Sorry about that. But the black cat symbolizes, the blackness of the black cat symbolizes the void. from which all creation comes, right? She is the Queen of Wands, is located in the Tree of Life in the Sephiroth Bina, which is understanding. And so it is a place of understanding, but generally through some pretty challenging journeys through the darkness. It's about finding the inner light within the darkness. That's really what Bina is about. And all the queens sit in Bina, and all the threes in the tarot sit in Bina. So it is a highly creative place. So we start the year, or we start the month with a highly creative energy. So what is challenging that? Relationship. Relationship is challenging that. Is it looking for the relationship? It's like not being content with who you are in the situation you are and spending a lot of time looking for a relationship? Or is your relationship taking up a lot of your time that might otherwise be utilized for your own creative potential? At the root, we have the Two of Swords. In this deck, it's a little bit about indecision. So the challenge is a two. It's a Two of Cups, and at the root we have a two, which is the Two of Swords. Deciding what actions to take, deciding whether you actually want to take an action. But there's a duality to both of these cards, of course, because they're two. But there's also a duality to Pisces. There's that part of you that wants to stay in the ethers, and there's that part of you that must stay on planet Earth. So it is sort of maybe the challenge here is to balance those two things yet again. In the past, we have the Fool. You are on a new journey. This is totally new for you. So that has actually happened. It's interesting because was it Scorpio or Cancer that had that as the first card? Like it's like taking the leap. I think it was Cancer, which is very hard for Cancer, but taking that leap of faith. Pisces already has taken the leap of faith. In the sky, we have the Three of Cups. This is celebration. It can also be a little bit too much celebrating. So if you have a tendency to overindulge in imbibing certain fluids, beware of that. But it doesn't mean that you can't have some fun. So there is fun to be had as long as you show some restraint in the merriment. We have ahead, we have the Lovers. Now the Lovers, people are like, ooh, the Lovers. But this is a choice card, right? It's a choice card. So you have a choice to make coming up. What do you want to do with that choice? And because the Two of Cups was a challenge card, okay, it's very possible that the choice will be not necessarily whether you'll stay in a relationship or not, but how much energy you're going to put in that relationship. Because ultimately the most important relationship is the one that you have with yourself, because it's the only one you really have control over anyway. How it's seen from the outside, we have the King of Cups. This is a very empathetic, sympathetic, masculine energy, sort of taking care of, you will be taken care of by dad, right? Dad, father knows best. But it is kind of a gentle energy, but it can be an energy that doesn't necessarily pay attention to its emotions, and those emotions can come out rather brusquely. So be aware of that. But as it's seen from the outside, you're seen as a beneficent, right? Beneficent. Domestic situation, we have the Emperor card. This is about taking control of your environment. And so here we go again. The same thing I said previous. You need to take care of your domain. You need to make sure that it is stable. You need to make sure that you take care of all the things that need to be taken care of this month. Because once November rolls around, things are starting to move quite quickly in October. But October is a little bit of a calm before the storm, even though it's the beginning of the storm. And so you want to make sure that you can sustain yourself through the storm. October traditionally is a time when the harvest is in and we see what we have harvested, and now we try to figure out how we're going to sort of stretch that out to help us survive the winter ahead. And so that is actually something that Pisces is going to have to do. Hopes and fears, of course, this is a hope. Oh, I'm going to be fine. Everything's going to be beautiful. And, you know, you can't fault a Pisces for being optimistic. Is it half empty or is it half full? Some Pisces would say half empty. Some Pisces would say half full. I would say you have a glass and at least there's water in it. And let's make sure we can still get some more water later. Outcome, we have the Three of Pentacles. This is about craftsmanship. It's about doing the work that's necessary. It's about finding work that's fulfilling and being good at what you do. So again, this is sort of a focus, a little bit of a different focus on everything else that's come up in this reading. It says to me that, you know, pick the things that you're good at, pick the things that you've been working on, and continue to work diligently in that place. And let's see if we can pull up a major arcana. Yeah. So we have the Victory card, the Six of Wands, and then we have the Sun card, which is an illumination. So and in the underneath we have the Ace of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and the Moon card, which says to me, you know, there are emotional ups and downs, there are challenges ahead, but the core is love. The core is love. So, wow, this is pretty exciting. This is an exciting reading for Pisces. Just make sure you're taking care of both sides of your nature, the more practical, the fish that lives in the actual physical world and the fish that lives in the mystical world. A little more attention on the fish that lives in the physical world at this time, but you still have access to all those beautiful Piscean otherworldly energies. It just needs to be balanced. You don't want to use your Pisces to escape. You want to use your Pisces to inform the best way forward, because the answers lie within your relationship to spirit anyway. I mean, that's true of all of us, but especially Pisces. But if you don't take what spirit offers you and institute it on the physical plane, then you're just floating around and being a bon vivant. Which I'm not exactly sure what that means, so, but it sounded good. All right, much love, everyone. Like, subscribe. If you know a Pisces in your life that could utilize this information, you think, please share it with them. And I will see you again next month for the Taroscopes for November, which I might have to like put on like a hat that like my hair's on fire hat or something, because I think November is going to be a little bit like that. But we're not there yet. We still have October. So enjoy your October and make sure that you take care of all those incidentals on the physical plane that need to be taken care of. Much love. Namaste.